Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Good day to you and happy summer solstice. Hopefully, some of you can join me today as we chit chat a little bit today about the solstice and the energy and the spiritual connection that you may feel around the summer solstice. It's a glorious day. Good morning. Hello. Here comes everyone. Here comes everyone. Welcome. Come on in. Good morning. It's good to see you, or good day or afternoon, wherever you are. It's welcome. Welcome. Happy solstice. The solstice energy for me is a very exciting vibration. Good morning, everybody coming in. Look at you all coming. It's great to see you. I'm just tuning in a little bit today to talk about the summer solstice and the energy and, how I kind of lean into it. And, it does shift things energetically. Tomorrow is my birthday. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Um, as we kind of lean into this time frame, as we first day of summer, and as we celebrate the power of the sun and the inner power and brightness within. I'm just curious how many of you are starting to feel a bit better energetically, are starting to feel kind of leaning into sunnier days and inner growth, and new brightness and new beginnings. How many of you are kind of leaning into that? Hello, Miss Lana. Hello, Miss Nisa. Good to see you. For many, many, many years, ancient times, the sun has been celebrated, and we continue to do so. The summer days and new beginnings. Yes, absolutely. Nature's kind of calling us. As the days get a little bit longer with the solstice, the nature kind of calls us and reminds us of new beginnings and new growth and how important light is. And that includes our own inner light. I don't sometimes, excuse me, we don't tap into that own inner light within. And I really feel that the solstice kind of brings us into that and acknowledging not only the sun, but our own inner light. I get really pulled into my own inner light and reminded of my own inner light as we navigate through the summer months. And it's just kind of one of those reminders. I feel alive during the summer, says KS. Absolutely. We connect more. We connect more to nature and to getting out. It's more pleasant, isn't it, to get out during those summer months. And we kind of navigate also collectively. People gather more in the summer. And we have missed a lot of gatherings in past years. So this kind of feels to me like a little bit more of an excitement, almost like a catch up of just kind of gathering, whether it just be meeting people on a beach or even with strangers. I just find the energy shifts a little bit as we greet the sun. And for me, I'll share some of what my practices over the next couple days with the solstice. But I really embed myself into new growth. I bring my alignment there at like a sharper tune. I kind of give myself like that tune up of that new beginnings. And even though I'm always open to new beginnings, I think sometimes having that reminder of a season or a solstice kind of brings us more into that awareness that I'm growing to and I'm connecting to. I will connect with the earth today. I will head out to the forest. I will take note of all the new things growing, and I'll just kind of lean in there. I'll kind of lean in there and feel that energy, and I'll bring a heart full of gratitude for everything that's growing around me, but also what's growing within me. I will take some time today and I will acknowledge that. Many people will connect with with fire energy. Many people will have like a bonfire tonight and gather around a fire to kind of celebrate, the new beginnings and the new season and coming into that space. Soak up the sun's warmth and energy. It can be that simple, whether it be on your lunch break or a coffee break, just getting out there and absorbing that feeling into that energy and letting it fill your heart with gratitude while welcoming in the new and welcoming in the new beginnings, even if it's unknown. People often say, well, I don't even know what's coming. Neither do I sometimes. And I just keep my alignment into that space and into that mindful moment and just allowing nature's bounty and the good all around us to kind of absorb. And I think sometimes we may focus on the lack of things and what's not necessarily, perfect in our physical world, and where we are and all that. But I think that, a really good reminder is to just kind of soak into what is abundant and what is bright and what is growing. It can be a big shift, in our mindset sometimes, because we do have a very loud microphone, social media, kind of pointing out as to, what still needs to be fixed and what's broken and what's not right. So I hope that you will find a moment, whether it be to sit in a garden or a park or just a space, even just looking out your window and just notice the beauty that surrounds you, and just kind of tapping into that. People today, as well as ancient people, really connected to the earth, and we're always pulled back into that, with reminders that, hey, Mother Earth is here, holding us and loving us with, extra daylight as the days are getting longer, that extra daylight in absorbing some of that. So I'm curious to know if what some of your summer solstice rituals, or just rituals, or summer overall, what it feels to you, what do you lean into with some spiritual practices. So let's just see what you have to say about that. And I will scroll back. I do have to be mindful of the time again this morning, because I do have in-person sessions. So let's just scroll up. Joy. So, well, normally I'm going to be happier as the sun comes, but this year that isn't that moment yet. And I think, Joy, I'm sending you my love and my light. And I think that, as we kind of navigate through our difficult times, I want you to know how supported that you are. Bianca, I love the yellow. I want to wear more summer clothes soon. Yes. You know, I'm I kind of go in I don't know if I call it phases, but I do kind of shift in where I'm pulled to. And today I was really pulled to wear a brighter color. I don't always wear a brighter color. I often will gear my colors, because color can be very healing as well. But today I felt that very bright, that needing to be very bright. It's been over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here, but I'll try to get outside more and connect. It does me so good. Yeah, it does. And sometimes, it can be just as therapeutic to look out the window and connect there. It can be that, if that's what works for you. If it's too hot, then kind of lean in there. See where we need to go. Bianca, me and my sisters decided to randomly dance in the house yesterday. It felt like energy. You were talking about summer energy for sure. I felt gratitude in that moment. Oh, Bianca, I love that. And in dance is in movement is such a great way to move energy around. There are times where if I'm feeling kind of like energetically, if I'm feeling that way, I'll get up and move my body. I'll funny dance. I'll Snoopy dance. I'll stomp my feet. I use body movement to help move energy, or help move through some feelings too. So if you're feeling like you need, that angry, you need to get up and kind of stomp your feet. I'll go out on the grass and stomp my feet. For me, I just like to move energy. I'm a big energy mover. I like to move through it, and process it. And body movement really helps. It also, and you do feel better, right, Bianca? I'm sure you felt like, like you said, you felt gratitude in that moment. So we're meant to move our bodies, and we're meant to feel different vibrations, and we're meant to shift alignment. So good for you, Bianca, and thanks for sharing that. Sone, do you feel the project that I'm tackling right now is going in my favor nearing the end? Nearing the end of summer. When I read that, Sonia, I feel a lot of excitement. I also feel there's a lot of learning and new things coming to you with that project. And I do feel, as I push through that space, I do feel quite lighter with that. So I hope that helps you there. Aaron, with summer solstice, I like to have a bonfire and do some drumming and walk barefoot in the yard. I love that, Aaron. I love that. Fire and light is a great way to connect there. And thanks for sharing that. KS went for ice cream with the kids today. Lots of smiles all around. I love that. I'm sure many of you who are around kids or have kids in your world, they are gearing up for the end of their school year. And perhaps depending on where you are on the globe, perhaps some of your kids have finished their school year. And the excitement of that and the anticipation of that is a great energy. My daughter is graduating grade 8 next week, and there's a lot of excitement with that. And there's also a lot of, well, I wonder what's coming next as I venture off to high school. So that, the energy with the excitement of kids right now is very loud. Um, living in Florida, we take the sun for granted, but have been singing and dancing more than usual. I love that. I love that. I think so, I think sometimes overall, I think sometimes we take nature for granted, whether it be the sun or the moon. Sometimes it's like, yeah, it's always there, and it's a loving reminder to connect back in there. I don't, yeah. When I'm thinking about all the seasons, um, I celebrate all seasons and have my connection with all seasons. But I think sometimes here for me, it's um, more summer, spring, fall that I really kind of lean into. See where we need to go. Um, just kind of looking for what your spiritual practices are. So you're welcome to share there. I won't be doing any readings today, just because of the timeline. I do have to get myself to some in-person sessions. For Dutch weather, it is hot too here, but we always have a week of hot weather and then thunderstorms, and it's cooling down to get hot again. Typical Dutch weather. I have a thing that I love, the rain. I will go out in the rain and stand there and get myself wet and muddy and have a good time there. I like to celebrate, nature. I'm big in celebrating nature. I love to connect there. I love to celebrate it. I love to, and even when gets too hot, I still kind of lean in there with it's warm, and the earth needs it and the plants need it. And then when the rain comes, I like to celebrate in that too. We are doing a celebration of life for my cousin who passed away. Sending much love there to you, Diane. Summer makes me want to make a ton of positive change in my life. Always my favorite season and always so full of energy. Alina, yeah, and it's that whole feeling of new beginnings and growth that I think that many of us lean into, and we start to physically feel better too. Like, we do need sun and light, for our own well-being. So we do feel that shift within us. We're usually less tired. We're usually, more willing to stay awake a little later because it's not as dark, and energetically we connect there. Even if we may not consciously realize it, we do work with our bodies, we do work with the seasons, very much. Okay, Silana, sending your daughter love and lots of luck for what's next. Thank you so much, KS. I believe rain is sacred. Yeah, I really feel that all the elements are sacred. It's a elements are very powerful and very powerful energy. And I lean in there with the elements all the time, and I just find it also connects me to that sacred energy. It really kind of brings that space a little bit closer to me. And it's a form really of meditation when you connect like that, whether you go out into the rain or whether you just kind of sit in the sun a little bit and just watch the clouds float by. It can be a very powerful meditation when we connect in there too. um Wesley, Bianca, are you on the Facebook group as well? Wesley, no, but I should join it. Love the community. Oh, thank you very much there, Wesley, for that. The Facebook community. I'll just address that. I do daily quotes on there. I do pop in and do lives like I do here. And I don't always schedule them. I just kind of pop in when Spirit says let's go live. Amelia, thinking of taking a course in environmental art therapy. Ooh, that sounds fun. I'm already an art therapist, but I feel like I bring in more of my interest around nature in the seasons. I love that. That feels so glorious to me. Nisa finally got on the boat and went fishing. Felt amazing to feel the breeze on my face and have the sun on my body. Absolutely. And remember, when we kind of shift into things like that bring us joy, and that we resonate to with outdoor stuff, it just gives us a break from the physical world. It gives, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it again and again. We weren't meant to live in a chaotic vibration all the time. We just weren't meant to. And that's why there's so much stress and a lot more anxiety and depression, is the pressures and the momentum of the physical world, and that chaotic space. We weren't built for it. We truly weren't built for it. So when we put into some balance with out in nature, out on a boat, out for a hike, celebrating, the earth, it gives our and it gives us a break from that physical world and that vibration. I mean, life is always bringing us stuff, and there's always going to be stuff in it, but it's about putting it back in the balance. And I do feel more and more people are having that realization again, where I need to come in and I need to just breathe, and I need to connect and let go, and just giving ourselves that space. The vibration of worry and that chaotic energy has such an impact on our physical well-being, on our spiritual well-being, on our mental health. And I think it's so important to be able to interrupt that, to be able to interrupt those, the physical world chaos, and to be able to get out there and recharge. And I think one of the greatest things I ever did for my own well-being was to insert, and it's literally right in my Google Calendar, to insert that break period, because otherwise we do that hamster wheel. We do get caught up in that physical world, chasing and chasing and chasing. And so if I have to literally insert it. This is my time. This is what I'm going to do. And I will change what I want to do. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same thing all the time, but I insert it right in there. Otherwise, it's too easy to get caught up in that tail chasing energy and that momentum. And I think we're becoming more and more and more programmed to do that, right? And, do more, do more, do more. And it's like, okay, but I also have to do less. I also have to find those moments where I just gonna lay on my back on the grass. And yesterday I literally went and laid face first. I know it sounds really funny, but I felt like I needed to put my face literally on the ground and just kind of allow myself to let go and put what I don't need into it back into the earth. Bianca, earth is a hard school. Many people who have near death experiences I've read have felt how different the physical world is compared to the spiritual. I'm going to jump in on that. I think I really want to address that. I think that is so true. During my experiences with death, for those of you who may not be aware, I have crossed over to the other side twice. And that story's on my YouTube channel. But long story short, I had two episodes that were about 5.5 years apart, where I had a medical emergency and spent time in the spirit dimensions. It is an extremely different vibration, and it's extremely powerful vibration, and it gave me so many aha moments of the shifts that I needed to make here. The vibration there and it's really hard to put into words. I often struggle with explaining the experience, because it's so hard to put in the physical world words, because there's almost no description for it. The word unconditional love and peace and serenity doesn't do it justice. It just doesn't do it justice. But it's such a different vibration, and the healing and the energy over there is absolutely profound. And I try to connect with nature, because I think that's the closest feeling for me, is that space within nature that gives me the closest description of what it's like over in the spirit dimensions. But it is really hard to describe, and I often when I've sat with that over the years on why is it so hard to describe. And it's because there's nothing here in the physical world that can give it that explanation. It's other than how you feel when you're watching a sunset or a sunrise, or how you feel when you're on the beach, or where your favorite spot that brings you the ultimate peace and healing. That would be a similar comparison to what it feels like over on the other side. It's absolutely profound. And the physical world is a hard school, and I think that sometimes we need constant reminders. I'm learning, and I often remind myself of that when I'm going through something difficult. I'm learning. I'm learning, and I'm learning. It's that teeth clenching. I'm learning something difficult today. But yeah, I believe that's so. There's so much stress around us, and there's a lot going on in this physical world, and it's just about coming into that balancing space. My daughter is finishing college. I think she wants to do a jewelry course. Do you see her completing the course, or is there something better for her? I really feel that she is following her pull. I can feel that. I can feel that pull. I can feel her following her pull. And I feel that, I feel that she is going to be a person that leans into growth quite often. So I think that as she ventures on her journey, I think she's going to add different things to that. I feel her adding things, bringing something else and bringing something else. And I feel like she's got a really good handle on that, as to this resonates with me, and this is what I'm going to add. Now I'm going to add something to it. I've talked before about that recipe. We just kind of add things on what we want to do and where we want to go and how we want to get there. I feel her doing very well, and I feel her following that pull of what resonates with her. And yay, you're good for, and congratulations on completing college. I think that's fantastic. Shaz, I'm going to start a new project, attracting success. I love that. That just got me very excited. Law of attraction, and leaning in there with law of attraction. And I often, when I look back and reflect on, I used to test energy. I used to test it. If I do this, what happens? I used to. And because I think for me, it was my own learning on what resonated with me. Law of attraction and attracting success is huge. I'm very excited for you. Lean in there and just love that. Let me see where we need to go. I am just keeping an eye on time. Deanna, my son's teacher reached out and mentioned that he could have a learning disability. Any guidance from my spirit guides? First of all, if there's any concerns with learning stuff, always follow up on that. If they want him to be assessed, or or see a physician. I don't give medical advice or anything like that, but what I do feel like I need to touch base on, and what I'm hearing from your spirit guides, is I'm hearing that most of us don't fit into a mold of how we learn things. I feel like there's just a different path of learning. I feel like because I can feel like, oh, now I get it. Now I get it. It's just like that different way of learning. Not everybody learns the same way or that has the same learning style. And I feel that, Diane, very strong from your spirit guides there, is that there's another learning path that's going to come in, and it feels very good. Sometimes, we need to kind of explore, and need to kind of navigate around different things, because we do all have different ways of learning, and we all have different ways and different things that resonate with us, and that's okay. And I think sometimes we get to, this is how it has to be done, this is how we're going to get there. And for many people, it's about kind of exploring different options on how you're going to get there. And that's why I'm a big, 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 believer in, you got to follow what resonates with you. You've got to take your own path and all that. And I always ask people, where do you feel the pull and what works for you? And I feel like we need to kind of give that more and more and more to our youth. And I also think our youth are pushing that. I really do. Whether they're consciously aware of it or not, our youth today are making huge shifts in how we work here in the physical world. And, yes, they're coming up against resistance, because the older generations, or the generation that is ahead of them, may not quite understand it, but I think that they're pushing us in the right way. I think they're pushing us in, what's not working needs to shift, and we're going to navigate through a lot of that. I've channeled out a lot on the next generation coming up, and the generation, the baby born today. I've channeled a lot on what they're going to navigate us through, and it's glorious. We need to break away from, when only one path for most people. Right? Only one path for most people doesn't make any sense to me. And I had a college professor, when I was going to school for my nursing. I was really struggling with biology and the science part of it. I was really having a hard time, and this person recognized my strengths and my weaknesses, and literally made arrangements it wasn't a common thing to do when I was in school at that time. Maybe it's more common now, but made arrangements for me to attend an autopsy, and to be able to see and to be able to explore a different way of learning. And that one experience shifted my grades in a profound way. I just needed to see it, and I needed to be able to navigate and have my own aha moments. A diagram in the book wasn't working for me, or words in a book weren't working for me on that particular topic. And once I had my aha moment, oh, now I get it. It completely shifted how I learned. And I I swear it changed my journey, going through nursing school. It was that one moment of okay, this is how I'm going to get there, and somebody believed in me and recognized it. And that was, I'll give you a bit of a hint. That was quite a few years ago, but I think that we need to kind of acknowledge that and find our own pathway through the learning. I'm not worried at all about your son, Diane. I just feel that there's another pathway of getting his own aha moment. That's how it's going to work for me. I do hope that you find that helpful. Sandra, I feel pulled towards life coaching, but I'm aware of some mental blocks I have. Do my guides have messages about how to overcome? Sandra, when it comes to the mental blocks, I need to kind of ask you why. Why the mental blocks? And I feel like it's this, and this is how I feel. What if, what if, what if? I feel a lot of what ifs. I also feel like I've got when my little broom comes up, and I've talked about my little spiritual broom. When I see my little broom, it looks like a little broom off of what was that? One of the Disney movies with the broom. I can't remember the movie, but anyway, my little animated broom comes up to sweep up. And what that means for me is cleaning up that past programming and cleaning up the thoughts. Follow that pull, right? Follow the pull. It's that simple. It doesn't have to you don't have to have all the answers, and putting down some of the what ifs. Just simply follow the pull. I think that you'd be very good at that coaching piece, by the way. Okay, let's just see where we are here. There's quite a few you on today. It's good to see you. I think I've missed a few things. So I'm going to try and go up and try and catch a few more. Okay, so I read Diane's. Ria, I just had a breakup and want to know what the future is for us. Is there any messages for me? I think that I see the arrow pointing back in within, and I feel like there's always something to learn when there's an ending, but I feel like this is going to navigate you into this whole other version of yourself. But I also feel like I have to give you some time to heal and to kind of work through that. I feel like I just kind of need to get you, like I talked about earlier, into just connecting and allowing yourself to go through some healing process. I feel like your spirit guides are asking you to process that and to allow that healing space and to give yourself that time. I think sometimes we kind of push ourselves really to, I gotta get over that. Okay, I gotta get over that. And that's okay too, if that works for you. But I feel that I just need to give you some time to process and to allow and to let go. I can't move beyond that because I think that there's healing that needs to be done there before I can see on the other side. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm sending love and light to all of you. Hit a like for Lana. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much. I do appreciate all the likes. Let's see where we need to go. The best birthday gift in the world will be a message from my passed on dog. I miss him so much, and tomorrow will be the first birthday I celebrate without her. It's going to be hard. Does she have a message here for me? I see a lot of when a dog's really excited and they kind of like run in that circle and that jumping up and down. I feel a lot of excitement at your feet, and I feel like she's trying to put that excitement in your feet. And it's kind of a really interesting reference. Is I've got to get your feet excited. I've got to get you excited in the momentum. And what she's saying is yes, I'm not physically gone. I'm not physically here, but I'm also not gone. Spirit says that all the time. And yes, I can still be with you and I can still navigate with you, but she's trying to get your feet going with excitement. So I don't know if you've been feeling kind of at a standstill or if there hasn't been a lot of excitement, but it's around the feet for me. It's really interesting on how she's trying to put that energy into your feet. I don't think I've ever seen a spirit animal do that before. We're trying to get that momentum there. I hope that makes sense to you there. Let's see where we need to go. Annie, I would like to know if my guides have advice for me on how to connect with them and my dog who recently passed. Is there anything my animal would like me to know? I mean, to see where I need to go there. So let's just talk about connecting with your guides. One thing when I always say about spirit guides is talk to them like new friends. talk to them like you have new friends. Hi, I know that you're with me. I would love to get to know you better. And I always say to people, ask them to sit with you. Come and sit with me and have that conversation. You can have it out loud or you can have it in your mind. Meditation is also a great way, but it's not the only way. You can simply quiet your thoughts and sit and talk and communicate with your spirit guides. Does it feel a little bit awkward at times? Yeah, if you're new to that, it does feel a little bit awkward. That's okay. It's your own thing. I also bring my guides with me. I also ask for guidance, ask for clarity, ask them to come with you, ask them for protection. I also lean into with spirit guides is gratitude is so important. And people kind of will look at me, well, why is gratitude important? And I always say, think about your own friends and family. How good does it feel when someone shows that they're grateful for what you do for them, or for the effort that you're trying for them? Gratitude is so important. So I always hold, special moments of gratitude for my spirit guides. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I also really lean in there when times are going great and when times are also not going so great. I don't just ask my spirit guides for advice when things are really hard. I lean in there all the time. And I think that that's really, really important because it establishes a relationship. You're getting to know them and you're learning to trust them. And then, like any relationship, that takes time and space. And I really feel that it's important to kind of, to grow your trust in your relationship with your own spirit guides. That is the easiest way I can explain connecting with spirit guides. And it's the same thing with loved ones in the spirit dimensions, whether it be, whether they were in human form or animal form, or in ancestors. I talk to my ancestors all the time, even though I didn't know a lot of them, in my physical world experience. I still talk to them all the time. I just talk with them and I feel and I listen, and sometimes I just know the answer. Sometimes I hear the answer. Sometimes they show me the answer. Sometimes the answer will come in dreams. I just allow it to be very, very fluid. I don't put any expectations or any thoughts of it has to be this way. And I try not to overthink it. Nope. I'm just going to take that as a message. Thank you very much. So the more that you connect there, and what happens is it naturally starts to expand you. It naturally starts to open you up, and you start to have amazing relationships with the spirit dimensions. That is, connecting to spirit 101. It's literally that easy. We all have the ability. You can all do it. It takes a little bit of trust and some practice and to lean in there. Okay, so let's just see where we are. I hope that does help you. See where I need to go. I need to figure out how to pause time so I can hang out here a little bit more. I need to be able to pause it. Wouldn't that be great if I could just hit the pause button for a few extra moments for all of us? Diane, yes, I truly feel that too. Thank you so much. I've been so stressed out because of that. He is such a free spirit boy. Thank you. Allow that free spirit boy to shine. Allow that free spirit to just be. I think sometimes we focus too much on how what kids are supposed to be, or this or that or the other thing. Always insert that free spirit boy and let that free spirit boy lead the way. Really truly let it lead the way. I do have to get moving, and I do it's I'm pushing the limit with the timeline here. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed our little chit chat and this, a little bit of talk about the summer solstice. And I hope that you get out there even just for a moment, and honor the earth and honor the change of seasons and honor yourself. And just take that moment. Just give yourself that magic. Daniel, it's 11:11 where I am. Beautiful. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll let you know right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to tap in here on Friday. I'm taking a little bit of a road trip with Spirit to work on a cold case. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to tap in before I go, but if I don't, I want you all to have a wonderful weekend, and I will be on when I can. I'll be on when I can. Much love, light, blessings, and as always, a spirit guided day. Take care, everybody. Much love.